Well, you know what? So I reviewed the document, and if I seemed a little sleepy, I'm sorry. Again, I had some awesome pizza. I got to play a little bit of D&D before going live on my own channel, and I was just in this like super content zone. Some people might call it the itis. When you eat and your body's like, yeah, that's the stuff. But you know what? During the break, I got up. I did some twists. I walked around a little bit here. I have a little bit of delicious hashtag not sponsored caffeine that I will be sipping on as we make these characters. And so let's do that, right? I think there was some very good points that were brought up. In fact, are you still out there, Peak Furball? I'm gonna check in here. Oh no, I don't see Peak Furball. Unless Peak is lurking and it just sort of made your name fall off there. Peak Furball did bring up some interesting points. In this case, some of the biggest ones, you need to make pets more prevalent and drop them entirely. Peak Furball agreed with Paisley. I'd love if one of the subclasses was a full-on pet class. There's better 1 to 5 features and other methods for getting extra attacks, also said Peak Furball. Well, all right, so Peak Furball, if you're out there, you can come back and join us. Otherwise, we will carry on this character creation in your memory. And another aspect that Peak Furball brought up was this is compounded by right cantrip for the job at 10, basically being superfluous. Superfluous. I don't know why I'm messing up on that pronunciation. Shame on me. Because swapping a single cantrip would technically be done by the ability to use any cantrip on your list on demand via the wands. The wands feature comes earlier than the ability to swap them, and any you'd need would just get a wand made for it. And that too. Okay, Artificer Artillerist is competing for design space filled by Conjuration / Necromancy. Circle of Shepherd Druid, but that's the one I'm not familiar with, and Beastmaster, without fully investing into it because it's trying to fill in more Blasterficer role Gunsmith did. And it fails at doing both in an interesting way. So we'll address that. Let's carry this forward. And let's put some inspirational music on. And make a character. We're gonna need the random roller also. Okay. So tonight, why don't we make, we have some time. Why don't we make, at first, an alchemical, and then tomorrow, why don't we make a blaster one, an artillerist? Yeah, alchemist or artillerist. All right. Oh, where is our handy dandy roller? Here it is. With this, then, we are going to roll a percentile for the character. Is it female, male, or multi-classed? 17, we have a female character who is of the race. Roll a d10. 9, I believe, is Tiefling. Yes, 9 is a Tiefling. And I'm going to roll it again to determine, now this is something that we do kind of custom on the channel. Do they favor their human side or fiendish side more? And, is that a tiebreaker for how they express themselves? Are their genetics favoring one or the other? With an odd number, we are favoring our human side a little bit more here. So, Tiefling favors human. Now let's roll for the alignment of the character. $63.91, and that is going to be neutral, chaotic neutral. Tieflings are medium sized. We'll throw that in there real quick. We're gonna just make a level 20 Artificer because we can. In fact, we're going to put Artificer Alchemist. Hey, SF Dread, welcome back. Now, of the 5 ability score improvements that we would get over our levels, I'm going to roll a percentile, and we're going to find out how many of those are going to be taken as feats. With a 40, it's all going to be stat bumps. Next up, we're going to roll a 13-sided die and figure out which background she has. So let's generate a 13-sided die, roll it, and there's a 12. Is 12 soldier? Let's see. Yep, 12 is soldier. All right, so background is soldier, and there are 8 different varieties of soldier that are mentioned. We're going to be soldier number 7. That's a placeholder. I don't know what that is currently, but we're going to find out when we start defining what the placeholders mean. 2d8 for the personality traits. So we have a 7 and we have a 6. And then the ideal, bond, and flaw are going to be 3d6. And we have a 5, a 6, and a 5. Very good. Now, we already know our class because we're exploring the Artificer and the subclass of Alchemist, so we can skip over this. Then, lastly, we just need to provide maybe some physical stats. For a Tiefling, they start at 4'9", and they have 2d8 inches to their height, so we're adding 11 inches. Tiefling. So that's going to be 4'20", or otherwise 5'8". We're going to take that same 11, and we are going to multiply it by 2d4, and then add that to our base weight of 110. So we're adding 44 pounds, so 154 pounds, standing at 5'8". And then lastly, let's find out how old our character is. This is something that maybe a lot of people don't consider, or might just be added on like, yeah, I'll make this person approximately my age. Because how else, we know better than our own generation, right? How we would think and act in our own, suspension of disbelief or fantasy application. But in this case, we're going to force ourselves to perhaps think differently. We rolled a 40. That is going to put us on... we have an adult tiefling, which is column 3. And, oh, of course, this is the one that I accidentally saved over. But whatever, 26 to 45. So that's going to be a 20-sided die. All right, so 35, an adult tiefling at 35 years old. Evening, 12 for 10. Welcome. Cheers to you with this new flavored Diet Coke. Alrighty. Well, we don't really need the random roller any longer, so we'll retire that, and we'll keep the roll sheet off to the side. There's a couple things I want to do before we apply the Artificer. I want to find out who our character is first before we figure out what she does. And so for that, everyone, I hope you have your player's handbooks open, right? Come on, class. I know you have your player's handbooks open. Let's go to Chapter 4, Personality and Backgrounds, and we are going to scroll to Soldier on page 140. Let's see. Now, being a former or a current soldier, we have skill proficiencies in athletics and intimidation. So let's fill that in. Athletics and intimidation. We are proficient in one type of gaming set and vehicles land. So over here on tools, gaming set and vehicles land. Equipment will get an insignia of rank and a trophy taken from a fallen enemy. Let's come down here. Insignia of rank. Trophy from enemy. And we can call this trinket number, and we'll roll a random trinket for her. And maybe that's what she's taken from the enemy. A piece or a set of bone dice or a deck of cards. All right, so this is whatever. We'll just sort of put a gaming set, one in which she's proficient, and a set of common clothes and a belt pouch. Common clothies, belt pouch, and 10 gapuz. There we go, GP. But what if you don't own the book, the kind you mentioned? There are free basic rules, or otherwise SF Dread. All is revealed on screen. I have the books here, available for you to follow along. So take a look, or just kind of listen along too. I mean, it's a whole kind of a bit, right? I'm Professor Morgan or whatever. I guess it'd be like Teacher Maddie Morgs? Teacher Morgs? Something like that. Prof. What other titles are there? Instructor. Doctor. I am not Dr. D&D, that's for sure. I am, if I was better with the mechanics, maybe I'd apply that title. But I'm more about the storytelling, the creativity of that end, and that's not hard science, my friends. That's the touchy-feely, like the feel-good kind of loosey-goosey stuff that you get with D&D. The gambling kit, a set of things or something specific. It's a gaming set of some kind, like a set of dice, a chess set, a deck of 3 dragon ante, that kind of a thing. All right, our specialty as a soldier is number 7. We were a standard bearer. Well then you're in the right class, SF Dread. So we rolled number 7, and that is a standard bearer. We have a feature of military rank, where anywhere we go, if we're recognized, like if we're with a friendly territory, or they recognize my insignia, we can ask for transportation or material or maybe certain favors, information, that kind of a thing. All right, so we have this standard bearer soldier, Alchemist Artificer, female, tiefling, chaotic neutral. That is her background. Now let's go to the player's handbook and see what she gets for being a tiefling. And then we'll be able to hold the PHB closed and crack back into the Unearthed Arcana for the Artificer. So as a tiefling, Our int increases by 1 and charisma increases by 2. So I'm going to put little notes down here. Int and charisma, 1 and 2. In addition, we have a 30-foot speed and 60 feet of dark vision, so I'm going to indicate that on our sheets. 30, that's going to put a 15 climb, 15 swim, 0 fly. Hellish resistance, we are resistant to fire damage. On this sheet, I will note that where it says IRV, immunity, resistance, and vulnerabilities. So for fire, we are resistant to fire. And then we have Infernal Legacy. You know, the Thaumaturgy cantrip, and once you reach 3rd level, you can cast the Hellish Rebuke spell once per day as a 2nd level spell. Once you reach 5th level, you can also cast the Darkness spell once per day, and Charisma is your spellcasting ability for these spells. Alright, so for cantrips, Infernal Legacy, IL is going to give us Thaumaturgy. I'm going to put that here. And we are also going to know once per day through Charisma. Oh, Ostomer, good morning to you, and thank you very much for those bits. This is also through Infernal Legacy. I like noting where we get our spell stuff from. Hellish Rebuke, because this is cast as a 2nd level, so I'm putting it here. And Darkness is a 2nd level spell. But yeah, Ostomer, cheers to you and good morning. Standard Bearer kind of makes sense for an Artificer. Might be an odd fit for a Soldier otherwise. Well, possibly. I mean, as support, there's options. I think you could have been a Medic or something, too. At 12 for 10, you're fine. Don't worry about it. You could chat, you can make jokes, you can do... It's fine here. And languages, Common and Infernal. And of course, you could always ask your DM, instead of Infernal, could you get Abyssal? If it's, depending on the world, it could be 6 to 1 half dozen of the other. Or it could be 12 for 10 cents. The plan numbers. Languages. Common. Infernal. Alright, congratulations. We're a soldier. And we're a tiefling. Now, let's layer on, let's dollop, Artificer. We have a, oh, actually, no, shoot, we don't have a soldier yet. We gotta get her personality, shame on me. That was one thing that, I should have been, good about that. Maybe I still got a little, the sleepies in me here. Alright, soldier. Personality trait, we have 7 and 6. 7 is, I have a crude sense of humor. And I enjoy being strong, and I like breaking things. Her ideal is number 5. Live and let live. Ideals aren't worth killing over or going to war for. Her ideal is no ideals. Her bond is number 6. I fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. And her flaw is number 5. I obey the law even if the law causes misery. Now you can say, well, hold up a minute. How does she obey the law, but she's chaotic neutral? How does that work? Well, remember, your alignment is a way that your character expresses him or herself. So she's impulsive, and she looks out for herself, but she's not necessarily selfish. For whatever reason, it could have been her military training. She realizes that if I have to obey the law, or a set of orders or something along those lines. And outside of that, I am free to live my life in a way that I see fit. You know, the law could, you know, we get into that with things like almost like the Munchkin fallacy, which is I can because the rules don't say that I cannot. You go into a town, and the town doesn't have laws on you know, approaching someone for adult services, right? Could be a hot button issue. Maybe some places have it, some places don't. Or, you know, if she's in a world, maybe in the capital. It's big, metropolitan, a lot of business there. And so, you know, you get into things that there's not really laws about. And so this character will then, maybe on impulse or just because the laws don't say that she can't, will then proceed to do that. But when then she goes to, you know, a small farming village, very religious, it's in a dry county, she will not break their law by consuming alcohol openly or things along those lines. It doesn't mean that she doesn't, you know, she doesn't not carry the alcohol. She just doesn't consume it where she knows the law says that you can't. Being free-spirited doesn't mean you need to break every rule or regulation. Hey, yeah, welcome back, Peak. I was a little worried here. We started building this character, and I didn't see you in the list. So I wanted to make sure we went over the reservations you had about the Artificer, and that way we could work from that as a base. But hey, it's good that you're back here, especially because we're going to be just digging into applying 20 levels of Artificer to her as an exercise. The chaotic alignment can be more related to battle experience. Let's see if I can post a link. Yes, Civil, you should be able to do that. Oh, yeah, interesting link. I like that, Civil. All right, so we're an alchemist. We're a standard bearer. You know, we're free-spirited, right? I have a crude sense of humor, and I enjoy being strong. I enjoy being strong, and I like breaking things. Live and live. Ideals aren't worth killing over or going to war for. I fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. I mean, even with this flaw, I think this is resounding. This all works very well together. You can have this approach to battle and still be an obedient, lawful soldier. Exactly, Civil. She has 20 D8 of hit die because you are a D8 class here. Our armor proficiencies are light, medium, and shields. Weapons, simple, hand crossbow, heavy crossbow. And tool proficiencies. We get more of these. Thieves' tools. And Tinker's tools. And an artisan tool of our choice. Well, nothing really here was saying anything. So what we can do in a pinch is go to Chapter 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There are 17 different artisan tools in Chapter 5. So we can just roll a 17-sided die and figure out which one. Or if we want to say, we can use the context clues on the character sheet and say, well, if she was a standard bearer, she probably she could repair flags. She could probably sew, sew emblems. She might have been a woodworker, so that she could make or repair the wooden the wooden poles you would carry the flags in on. But if you want to have a bit of a wild card, we can just roll a 17-sided die and see what we get, and roll with it. Just because you're a standard bearer doesn't mean you're the one who sewed the flag. And plus, if you have mending, it doesn't really matter. Let's do that. Let's make a 17-sided die and roll for it. We rolled 6. Alchemist, brewer, calligrapher, carpenter, cartographer, cobbler.
Morning, Vivi.
Hey, Bobo! Good morning to you, and at 12 months, you have achieved the spiciest salsa that you can have on Matty Morgs. Check out your chat badge. You are one of the rare folks currently that has a 12-month chat badge that is a nice, spicy red. All right, so cobbler's tools. And you know what, too? Yeah, so not only do we have our emotes, we have our chat badges. There is going to be another Tier 1 emote added maybe this coming week. Fingers crossed. But yeah, welcome, Bobo. You are among the spiciest here. Repairing boots was your camp duty? That could very well be, Peak Furball. Saving throws, con, and intelligence. And then we get to choose 2 from Arcana, History, Investigation, Medicine, Nature, Perception, and Sleight of Hand. Let's see. Crude sense of humor. I enjoy being strong, and I like breaking things. Live and let live. Ideals aren't worth killing over or going to war for. I fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. And I obey the law, even if the law causes misery. I want to say history. If she does have a sense of the law and how to act, and maybe a respect for certain things and situations, history's kind of calling out to me based on her personality. She's a cobbler. She's a soldier. She's a standard bearer. Pardon. Live and let live. Ideals aren't worth killing or going to war for. Maybe medicine. And so, not only does she know how to sew up boots, she knows how to sew up wounds. And that could bleed a little bit over into the mechanics of Artificer. So history and medicine seem like they're resounding to me. Does that sound good for you? Yeah, time goes by fast, Bobo. I'm very grateful for your continued support. You were an early adopter of the channel. And on top of that, because of the time frame, it's very early morning for you when we broadcast, and that sort of dedication and belief in the channel is very encouraging. Thank you very much, Bobo. Now, if you all think it should be 2 different ones, 2 different skills, let me know. These were the ones that they kind of jumped out at me based on her personality and the character as we've generated her so far. Her equipment, I mean, we're making a level 20 character. You know, any two simple weapons, is this really going to be a thing? You know, we're going to give her a knife and a club, or what are we going to give her here? You know, do we give her studded leather armor or scale mail? Because honestly, by this point, she's probably going, you know, heavy medium armor and a shield. Peak Furball, thank you very much for that follow. Can't catch it much. When I got time, you know, I jump in, say hi. Yep. Bobo. So it's a good evening and a good morning when you come in and you say hi, you check in. You know, if you have a story to share, you know, you're always welcome to do so. But that's really excellent of you to do. And maybe that extra spicy salsa is a fun little achievement. Thank you very much for that. So our equipment on this character isn't necessarily... If cosmetically we want to give her, you know, she's very famous for wielding a hammer and shield. It's not a war hammer, you know, but she's wielding like an actual, like a hammer. Or because she is a cobbler, I mean, so you have a hammer there, you have some nails, you know, maybe some sort of like a knife, or you could use like a sickle as like a leather cutting instrument instead of just as a harvesting tool. So we could give her flair. We could role play this and give her, you know, something else. Does she go hand crossbow and shield or something along those lines? I mean, I don't know if that's really efficient, but you get what I'm saying. Because we're generating her at level 20, her starting package isn't necessarily going to be fraught with decision. She will get Thieves' Tools. And a Dungeoneer's pack. Oh, and you know what? We have to roll a percentile for the trinket she's getting. This is something she took off an enemy soldier, and maybe this could have an influence on the skills that we missed. Yeah, I thought I clicked it. There we go. A 26. Trinket number 26. A bag containing 47 humanoid teeth, one of which is rotten. So the question is, did she pull those teeth as a trophy, or did she take them from someone who pulled the teeth? But this is the trophy that she pulled off of an enemy. It was either the enemy's teeth or a bag full of teeth that the enemy got somewhere. 47 teeth, and one of them is rotten. All right, let's check it out. At level 20, we have a proficiency bonus of 6, and we know 4 cantrips. Now, we're going to have to account for this as well, because we have a number of infusions known and infused items. And so this is going to have to be... We can split this up between something over here in the... This is where you put lay on hands, your key points, your sorcery points, that kind of a thing. So we can do something like infusions and items. And we can split that number between the two here, right? So it would be 8 and 5, and that's how we're noting that. And then for the spell slots, as we are a half caster, it's 4, 3, 3, 3, 2. You need to go to bed, but you're not tired at all? Well, just lay down and you know, think or try writing or read a book, and that can often help. You know, a nice hot shower, or if you have some herbal tea, non-caffeinated stuff like sleepy time tea, that can help out too. All right, now, race, we already have our racial notes. We don't need to worry about that. For our class, we have magical tinkering. And remember, that can let us make an object that can do something. Sheds bright light. Whenever it's tapped by a creature, it records it repeats a recorded message. Continually emits your choice of odor or nonverbal sound. The chosen property lasts indefinitely. Okay, there we go. So we have spell casting, which does include rituals, and that's good. But we're not going to worry about spells just yet. That's one of the last things that we do. We have our spell list. We'll come back to that here. We will then go to infuse item. You gain the ability to imbue mundane items with certain magical infusions. The magic items you create with this feature are effectively prototypes of permanent items. Pick 3 Artificer infusions to learn, choosing from them from the section. You learn additional infusions when you reach certain levels. Let's see. So we are going to know 8 of them in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if we really wanted to be thorough, we'd come back up here, and we would put level 2. We get 3 of them, and then we go to 4 at level 4. 5 at level 7. 6 at level 11. 7 at 15. And then 8 at 19. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can touch a non-magical object and imbue it with one of your Artificer infusions. And then, so that's going to be up to us. There is, the list of infusions is a little bit later here. So we'll get to that. We'll get our specialist in a little bit. I want to get our base Artificer abilities listed first. Starting at 3rd level, your proficiency bonus is doubled for any ability check you make that uses your proficiency with a tool. So I guess in like any ability check. So I guess with cobblers, we could put like a capital E next to it to show that we have expertise. ASI, we're going to assign that when we drop in scores. It's one of the last things that we do along with magic. Arcane Armament. At 5th level, you can attack twice rather than once whenever you take the attack action on your turn, but one of the attacks must be made with a magic weapon, the magic of which you use to propel the attack. And then at 10, that's where we get into what Peak Furball was talking about, the right cantrip for the job. At 10th level, you gain the ability to make sure you have the right magical tool for a job. Whenever you finish a short or long rest, you can replace one of the Artificer cantrips you know with another cantrip from the Artificer spell list. At level 18, we get a spell storing item. When you reach 18th level, you learn how to store a spell in an objet for repeated use. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can touch one simple or martial weapon or an item that you can use as a spellcasting focus and store a spell in it, choosing one 1st or 2nd level spell from the Artificer spell list that requires one action to cast. With the objet in hand, a creature can take an action. With the object in hand, a creature can take an action to produce the spell's effect from it using your spellcasting ability modifier. The spell stays in the object until it has been used a number of times equal to or twice your intelligence modifier. Or until you use the feature again. So spell storing item, and then we'll just put X int, and then when we get our int modifier, we can come and fill that back in. And then lastly, our capstone is Soul of Artifice. Understated magic items is unmatched, allowing you to mingle your soul with items linked to you. You can attune up to 6 magic items at once. In addition, you gain a +1 bonus to all saving throws per magic item you are currently attuned to. Woo! That's pretty good. And think too, if you have a paladin rolling up next to you, and you're getting those extra, you're getting like presumably a +6 bonus from the 6 magic items attuned to you, let alone any of the offensive or defensive things you're getting from 6 attuned magic items. But then this pally next to you is giving you like an extra +5 or so to your saves. That's going to be very, very difficult for folks to overcome. Mr. Plunderloot, welcome! We're talking Artificer's Plunder. We also popped open a box of Dragon Heist and a box of... a pox. No poxes upon people. A box of Tomb of Annihilation. Jericho, this is 2.0, yes. It is F-bomb back. All right, so now this is what we get. This is what we get. And by back, it's back as an Unearthed Arcana. This isn't a hardcover approved submission just yet. This is what we get for being an artificer. Specifically now, if we go down the path of alchemist, this is how our character is going to continue to grow and function. You gain proficiency with the alchemist supplies and herbalism kit. So adding even more here. Alchemist and herbalism. Assuming you don't already have them, you also gain supplies and a kit from the experimentation. You also gain alchemy. Okay, there's that result of tinkering and crafting. If you craft a magic item in the potion category, it takes you a quarter of the normal time, and it costs you half as much of the usual gold. So I'm going to put down here for archetype, tools of the trade, potions. Or we'll put like 1/4 potions. Alchemist Spells. Starting at 3rd level, you always have certain spells prepared after you reach particular levels in this class. And so if we come up here, let's go back to our spell sheet. And we have Alch spells that are acting kind of like domain spells or oath spells. This is Purify Food and Drink. And Ray of Sickness. Melf's Acid Arrow and Web. Create Food and Water. Stinking Cloud. Blight. Death Ward. Cloud Kill. And Raise Dead. Also to note 1, 2, 3, and we know 4 cantrips here. At 3rd level, you learn ancient methods for magically creating a special homunculus that is formed by alchemical substances. And then, so, you know, it gets stats and it can do some certain things in combat here. Alchemical Homunculus. Now, given her personality, right? She was a standard bearer. She's a cobbler. In fact, maybe that's what got her into alchemy. Maybe after marching around, she found by providing service to her own boots, let alone those of others, you know, that they picked up stuff along the way, and that you know, by stepping in one thing after stepping in another, this could have caused a reaction. This could have eaten through a boot. This could have polished a boot. This could have been oot in a boot. Hello to any of my Canadian friends. And so through this, I guess starting with these like earth sciences, right? Through these admixtures created in nature by marching around as a soldier, and her just observing these things that have been existing underfoot for so long, this has led her down this path. And so her alchemical homunculus is something that is you make it out of something that's next to you. Hey, Trust a Flump, welcome. Welcome back, I should say. I'm so tired, but I'm back for a time. Well, we are making our 20th level Alchemist Artificer. Pardon. I hope that the sessions went well over at D&D time and everyone had a ton of fun. I know I did. Even though I was mortified beyond belief that this character is now like, I owe service to this man who hires murder hobos. What is going on? Yeah, they're just sleepy. Yeah, so Peak, I was thinking the homunculus could be an animated boot. Maybe that was the first boot, like maybe she stepped in something and that's what kind of caused this this reaction to occur. Or, yeah, I know, what a life. I've been back a week and I've just been like, I'm committed to service and bound to honor an agreement to a man who says, you know, good job, everyone, to absolutely like murder hoboing this poor halfling family. When all they needed was the 20,000 copper to pay for the medical bill for little, you know, for little Johnny Halfling. Or Peak, what if it was a flag that flies around? Right? And so if she's a standard bearer, she's used to flying the colors. If it's not a little flying boot, what if the flag is the homunculus, and so the homunculus can just sort of like flap along, and it can be the bearer of healing and damage and this other stuff, right? Peak, you dig it? So you think her flag as the standard bearer should be her homunculus? I'm going to grab a single box and then go to bed. All right, Trust a Flump. Well, we'll crack it open for you. Now, I mean, we could... this floats, right? The stronger you get, the stronger your homunculus gets. I'm not worried about... Well, you know, there is a page down here for a companion. We could fill that in, but I'm not worried about doing that right now. I want to get the character made first, and then we'll give her the support.
Annihilation, please. Box 5 possible.
Box 5? Alright, so let's see. If this... Alright, so this was the sealed brick. There's 3 missing because 1, 2, and 3... I guess this is going to depend on what box number 5 is to you. Because if it's going in front row then back row, this would have been 1, then 2, 3, 4, and so 5, whatever box 5 you choose, sure. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is going to be the one kind of in the back row here. And then to keep the brick stable, I'm going to slide this one back in. There we go. Flump is going full in on this one now. All 4 figures. are within his noodly appendages. Yeah, and I do think it's flavorful, Peak Furball. And I like that we can have this play into her background pretty well. Plunder Loot wants a Zorbo in this. A Zorbo named Kevin. Okay. Your journey through Chult has you meeting with an Aldani first. Big old lobster person. A Zorbo named Kevin is pretty cool. Just watch out, it's pretty strong. More lobster, boys. Yeah, and you want a Marilith? Wouldn't that be fantastic? Well, you know, I'll tell you this. We're moving right into the uncommons because you have a Bariri Goblin with a mask. So this is kind of like a chieftain. Keep stacking these Bariris up in a totem, my friend. Following that, well, you have a giant scorpion. If you want to call it a rad scorpion, I suppose you can, but you have a giant scorpion. Blood Deuce, thank you very much for that follow. Welcome aboard. And lastly, but not leastly, you have an ultra rare figure in this pull, Trust a Flumph. Ultra rare figures, for those who don't know, they are these invisible figures. You can prime them yourself and paint them. You could keep them invisible and use them for their shape, or you could use them to represent a ghost, a hidden person, or the like. Is it the Coddle? I don't think the... Oh, I'm sorry. The Coddle does have an invisible. It's right here. The one that you have is an invisible Artis Cimber. Artis Cimber. And so the Tabaxi you pulled earlier is going to go in this box as well. Hey, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for giving these poor little minis a good home too. Let's see, we have Alchemical Mastery. Your command of magical chemicals has become masterful, enhancing the healing and damage you create through them. When you cast a spell using your alchemist supplies as the spellcasting focus, you gain a bonus to one roll of the spell. That roll must restore hit points or be a damage roll that deals acid or poison, and the bonus equals your intelligence modifier. In addition, you can cast Lesser Restoration without expending a spell slot, provided you use the alchemist supplies as a spellcasting focus. You can do so a number of times per day equal to your intelligence modifier. Lesser Restoration is... a second level spell. So let's go over here. And we can Lesser Resto. So this is from Alchemical Mastery. Lesser Restoration. And this is going to be int per day. At 14th level, we are a Chemical Savant. We gain resistance to acid and poison, so now we are fire, poison, and acid damage resistant. And we are immune to the poisoned condition. So I'll put it under advantages, I guess, but we can just put immune to poisoned condition. In addition, you can cast Greater Restoration once without expending a spell slot and without providing the material component, provided you use Alchemist supplies as the focus. And then we can do that once per day or once per long rest. And let's see, Greater Restoration then is 5th level. So let's go back to our spell sheet, and at 5th level, this is Chemical Savant, 1 time a day or once per long rest. If you want to put 1/LR, Greater Restoration. And we were at 4, 3, 3, 3, and 2 for our spell slots. And that does it. With the exception now of, for the number of spells, so this is Artificer, spells prepared equal. Our ability is Intelligence. Let's see. You prepare a number of Artificer spells equal to Intelligence plus half level. So I'm going to make a note, Int plus half level. Yep, good night, Flumpy. Now let's drop in our stats here. Intelligence being crucial, and hey, it's kind of nice that we're a tiefling on this regard. I think we could put our 15 starting in Intelligence. And unless we want to, I don't know. If we did this, and then maybe put the, if we put our 14 here, our, no, because we'd still have an odd number floating with our 15. So we might as well just bring that up, and then we can have our stray floating in strength. So that'll be 15. What would be next? Probably a high constitution for saves. 14. Intimidation, medicine, probably more along the lines of medicine. Although having a dex for some armor and such could help. If we're dealing with a lot of ranged combat, perhaps having a higher dex would be good. If she's not too good at this other stuff, then we could probably make wisdom. We have a 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, and she's not too strong, but she's good at athletics, right? She's marched and whatnot, but she's not the strongest. So we could make strength her dump stat if we wish. You're back for 20 minutes because I forgot to eat dinner. Oh no! No! Get your energy, Flump! Everyone, we need to feed the Flump our sort of our mundane thoughts. So if you want to feed Flump, type in some sort of like, some sort of a side thought, something mundane. Maybe kind of like, wow, like I stubbed my toe today. That kind of sucked. Please feed our Flump. So 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 8. Now, if you want to see the stats spread in a different way, you are welcome to suggest it. This is our character we're building. I don't have, my ego riding on a perfect build for this, because we're having fun. We're making a character that's presumably not optimal anyway, considering we left open backgrounds and whatever. You're like, oh, well, a soldier alchemist, that doesn't make sense. You got to go sage and all this other stuff. But we're going to have fun with it. We're going to make it work. In fact, I love the fact that her homunculus is the flag that was bearing 41 minutes until SpaceX launched their first Crew Dragon capsule. Oh, well, one of the folks in our community here, One Crit Wonder, does stuff with SpaceX. That's all I can really say. Not out of any sort of, I've been sworn to it, but that's all I can honestly say about it. So he might give us the inside scoop or a cool launch picture. Man, I are 2 honey buns over the course of the day. Oh, you ate 2 honey buns. Oh, so Flump, there you go. There's kind of a mundane thought. The thought of eating 2 honey buns over the course of the day is now yours to consume. All right, so with this, why don't we drop in one of our... So we have 10 points now we can distribute. Let's go to a 14 dex and a 9 strength. And now let's bring up our int. So that's 2. We're going to go to 6 of our 10 by bringing our int up completely. And now we have some more that we can put in here. We could probably drop it into dex. I mean, our armor will cap out at the +2. But if we do carry around, crossbows or finesse weapons... we could use that along with our shield. So maybe bring up our... Maybe bring our dex to 16 and our con to 16. I kind of like that. A little more defensive. Or actually, you know what? If we just did that, why not this? If, hitting with swords, that could be important. Let's bring our con up to 18 and get the hit points instead. I think that might make a little bit more sense. Dex for AC isn't super crucial unless you get Infusion for armor. Free +2 AC is no joke. Well, wait, was one of the infusions that allows more dexterity to be used? Because we actually need to choose her infusions. She learns 8 of them. Let's see. Enhanced defense. Oh, yeah, +2. Okay. So, no, that's just... we could just take that to enhance it. Yeah. So, let's give her more hit points. And I think she'd take enhanced defense because she's a soldier, right? She marches into battle. All right, so with that, her strength is still -1, but that's fine. Dex 2, Con 4, Intelligence 5, Wisdom 1, Charisma 1. Saving throw is -1, Athletics is 5. Dex is 2 down the board. Con is going to be 10. Int is going to be 11, and Nature is going to be 11. Wait, why Nature? I think that should have been History instead of Nature. Is what I was talking about. It was History and Medicine. And then the others are going to be 5s. Wisdom is going to be 1 down the board except Medicine, which is going to be a 7. And Charisma is going to be a 1 down the board, with the exception of Intimidation at a 7. Oh, welcome back, Jericho. This class is something I've wanted forever now. Just read it, and you just read it, and it looks so good. We don't need our standard array anymore. Our passive perception is 11. It's 10 plus our perception modifier. Hit points is going to be pretty easy to figure out here. At level 1, you get your maximum HP per your hit die, so that's 8. The other 19 levels, because we're a level 20 character here, is going to be half +1 of your hit die. That's how I recommend doing it. You have a DM that might force you to roll it, and if so, then that's what you do. Then for all levels, all 20 of them, you get bonus hit points equal to your Constitution modifier. And so there we go, 20 levels of +4 HP. So this is 80 hit points alone. And then we have 95 hit points here. So we have 175. +8 is 183 hit points at level 20. Initiative is going to be a +2 because that's a dexterity check. Armor class, we're going to have to calculate here based on some of the things that we're going to be giving her. All right, so suggestions then for her infusion. We get 8 of them. We could give her Boots of the Winding Path. That could be thematic to her being a cobbler. Can teleport up to 15 feet as a bonus action to an unoccupied space. The creature must have occupied that space at some point during the current turn. Which infusion? Are we going mocha or caramel? Enhanced defense, a suit of armor or a shield. Creature gains +1 bonus to armor class while wearing armor or wielding shield. Or while wielding the infused item. Bonus increases to +2 when you reach 12th level. So she's probably going to take enhanced defense. I would agree and go with mocha. I had a great mocha mint. I guess peppermint mocha frappuccino the other day. It was good. Let's see, enhanced weapon. Is she a weapon fighter? I don't think that she is. I think she's there. She is there for the rah sis boom ba. You know, rah ree, kick him in the knee. Rah Rick, kick him in the other knee. What's the possibility of having this when it comes to out for Wayfinder's Guide in D&D time, Jeremy? Ask Jericho. Ooh, the tough questions. You're getting an Ask Pete and Jeremy bonus question on the side. The infused pouches all share one interdimensional space of the same capacity as a single pouch. Thus, reaching into any of the pouches allows access to the same storage space. That might be good for an army on the march if you want to pass orders or be kind of secretive. If you want to, I don't know, depending on how large the pouch is, pass a dagger, or like everyone knows that there's an emergency dagger in there. Radiant weapon gets a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it. While holding it, the wielder can take a bonus action to cause it to shed bright light. I like this one because if you're hit with a melee attack, yeah, this can enhance a weapon. And frankly, she'd need it because she doesn't have the best to hit stat at level 20 if we're using dexterity. But she can make light, and also she can blind an attacker with it as well. This one seems like this could be a good one, and this has to be 8th level or higher. So let's put Radiant Weapon here. Pardon. Now, we can also take a Replicate Magic item, and we could take it several times for something. All right, using this infusion, you replicate a particular magic item. You can learn this infusion multiple times. Each time you do so, choose a different magic item that you can make with it, picking from the replicable magic items tables below. Yes, yeah, Civil. Because of what? I think she just has to concentrate, doesn't she? No, that's the spell. That said, I like giving her Boots of the Winding Path because it's so thematic for her. What else? Resistant armor. While wearing this armor, the creature has resistance to one of the following damage types. So we're already resistant to fire, poison, and acid. So if we did this, then we could get a 4th resistance. That could be a good one. A returning weapon, a simple or martial weapon with the thrown property. Gets a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it, and returns to the wielder's hand immediately after it is used to make a ranged attack. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, psych you first. I like it, Civil. Also, what are these chips and dip icons? Those are the subscriber badges, Jericho. If you subscribe to the channel for 1 or 2 months, you get the green salsa. So, you know, it's more mild. If you want it to be guac, that's fine. Guac isn't too spicy. 3, 4, and 5 months, you get yellow. Now, yellow could be, you know, it could be representative that the spice is turning up, or it could just be, you know, like nacho cheese. A little spicy, not too bad. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 is orange. And that could be salsa con queso, or, again, orange is a little spicier than yellow, which is a little spicier than green. And then finally, if you subscribe for a year, then it is red. You get the spiciest salsa available. You are the spiciest subscriber. The Boomerang weapon infusion. That's my cheese, nacho cheese. So radiant weapon, maybe resistant armor. This, yeah, the spiciest. In fact, so you should be able to, I think, hover over them or click on them to see the difference. And spicy.
Das Box, denn I'm really going to bed for the hour.
You say that, Trustaflump, although which box number do you want? You could either go left or right, or you could, if you want one out of the box, I guess, yeah, we can have a little fun with it. You going left? Left, right? Right, I want left. Oh, wait, hang on. Did I... Well, I was doing this from the perspective of... left or right. I'm sorry. Is this the one... Let me put it this way, Trustaflump. Is my hand on the one that you currently want? Is this the one you want? Or is this... I should just say 1 or 2. Going left and right as a matter of perspective to a webcam can be kind of awkward. Alright. This is the one you want. Gotcha. Alright. All correct. Left, right, right, left. And let's see what's inside. When is the stuff from the anniversary supposed to ship? You have to, you got to tell me if you want me to ship it, Jericho. Because you have some stuff, I believe. I think I'm holding on to some things for you. Right? Left? If you want me to ship it, then you got to let me know. Yeah, because Jericho, I don't know, if I haven't shipped anything to you yet, I need a name and an address for me to ship to. And also, a lot of people hang on to minis to build a collection, and then they might trade before asking me to ship it out. So, it's not automatic. No, you have to let me know. You got to pull the trigger on that. All right, Trustaflump, while we're considering some other infusions for this character, let's go up and find out which 4 figures are yours out of this box. Ooh, we're going to start with another Bariri Goblin. I think you have enough to make a full totem of these things now. You just got to find a way to stack them up. Yeah, Jedi wanted a Zorbo. No Zorbos have been opened up yet. After that, you have a skeleton key, and this is the one with the giant headdress on it. So this is B, I guess. Skeleton key B. Gotta go now, D&D game. And first ever date night, Jericho. Woohoo! Let me know if you want anything shipped, okay? Just let me know to whom and where I need to ship it, and I'll ship it if you let me know. After that, we go to our uncommons, and hey, Trust-a-Flump, we have a duo drone. Going out to the oh so romantic place of Waffle House. Hey, that could make an awesome first date, Jericho. Right? Just, you know, have fun with it and talk, and it'll be a memory to come. And lastly, we have a rare figure. Trust-a-Flump. Not yet. A tiger. Those are going to be coming out this coming week. I don't know if it was pushed back or whatever, but 3/6, I believe, is the release date. So we're cracking open Tomb of Annihilation. And so Trust-a-Flump, you have the big green machine. You have a stone juggernaut out of this set. And I'll tell you, this thing's a heckin' chonker. This is a hefty piece of plastic here. Well, if you want to put it up for trade. It is. It's like a pound. Is it a pound? I don't know if it's a pound. It might be close. Yeah, it's a cool figure. See the skulls on the you see the skulls on the tread here? So when it rolls past it, it makes these signs. Oh, look at our little Nerdlepedia-lings. Welcome. Hello, Verbane. Welcome, welcome. We just popped open a box of Tomb of Annihilation for Trust-a-Flump, and we are building an Artificer, Artificer 2.0. Yaziratril. Did I pronounce that correctly the first time? Yaziratril? Yaziratril? Well, welcome. I did not. Well, I tried, though. I hope I did better than others? Question mark? Second was correct. Yaziratril? Nerdlepedia. Nerdlepedia Mabuki. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Welcome, welcome. We're cracking open boxes of minis. We're having fun. We're building an Artificer. We're doing very well. We're diving into some Unearthed Arcana, and I'm trying the new Diet Coke flavor, the blueberry and Aussie berry. It's not acai. It's like acai berry. Are you liking the new artichokes? Artificer, okay. I was gonna say, like, the new artichokes, is this some new... Is this the new thing? Have they usurped avocados? As the thing you put on toast? This new artichoke? Acai. Okay, it's acai. New name for artificers, it's canon. Is artichokes. So we have alchemical artichokes, and we have, oh, they're not gunners, they're, artillerist artichokes. So the one we're making right now, we are making, we're just going full level 20, random rolls for everything like we normally do, right? We had our random roll guide open. We have a chaotic neutral female tiefling who was or is a soldier and a standard bearer in particular, who's an artificer alchemist. I have a crude sense of humor. I enjoy being strong, and I like breaking things. Live and let live. Ideals aren't worth killing over or going to war for. I fight for those who cannot fight for themselves, and I obey the law even if the law causes misery. And we've gone through and we've given her stats, and we've gone through. We have a couple infusions that we have left. 1, 2, 3. We have 4 more infusions that we need to decide to give her. We gave her enhanced defense, boots of the winding path, and I think that works because we rolled randomly for which artisan's tools that she had proficiency in, and it was cobbler's tools. And so with that, we were saying, okay, so marching around in the army, you pick up a lot of dirt and whatever on your boots, and one day, because she's the one who repairs boots for the group. I mean, she carries the standard. She needs good boots anyway for that, right? But you know, she's repairing it. Maybe she noticed that a mix of soils or clays was eating through her boots, or gave it a lovely shine, or changed its color. And that kind of led her on this path, where maybe she was collecting clays and dirts and reagents, and this has now led her to become this alchemist. And the homunculus that we chose to manifest is her flag that she flies, because now it can fly itself. And she's still a standard bearer as this soldier alchemist, but now she doesn't have to carry it on a stick. It is animated as her alchemical homunculus, and it goes with her into combat. That strength personality implies one of her infusions should be a strength belt. Yeah, that can work. I have to hop off. This seems cool. Well, thank you for hopping on and letting me know I got the pronunciation of the name correct. Yaziratril. Yaziratril, correct? Yaziratril. All right, so civil. Oh, you use the Xanathar's Guide to Everything background origin maker? No, I do not, a tiger. I think we did 1 week to show it off and experiment, but I have not used that on the stream. Unless we're trying to highlight something out of a particular book, I try and keep it to the core 3 books. That way, if people are new to D&D, I don't want them to feel like they have to invest a ton of money in order to get into it, and we can really see how many options we can get with just the core books. That's not a bad suggestion at all, Tiger. And so I hope I didn't come across as like, what are you talking about? You want to scare new people off? Because Xanathar's Guide to Everything is the next book I would suggest purchasing after the core book. I mean, if you only intend on being a player, get the Player's Handbook, then get Xanathar's. If you intend to be a DM, get the core 3 books, then get Xanathar's. All right, so let's, so you, because of the strength, right? I enjoy being strong and I like breaking things. So, I mean, we gave her kind of a dump status strength, but you know what? If she enjoys being strong, it could very well be because, Winterlands, archery. All right, so this has to be a 16th level or higher, so we have one slot open for that. That could very well be a Belt of Hill Giant Strength. If she likes protecting people, well, so we've given her some infusions for that. I enjoy being strong, breaking things. I fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. I obey the law, even if it causes misery. Unless this is, were you thinking, Civil, more like the Gauntlets of Ogre Power, or a Belt of Hill Giant Strength? Did I misinterpret what you were saying? Because Trust the Flump, you're just so sucked into what we're doing. This is riveting Twitch content right here. What could be useful for... There you go. Trust the Flump is beseeching Lord Plunderloot here, or Mr. Plunderloot, to compel purchases. Gauntlets could work. Was going for any strength, really? Sure. So we could actually drop Belt of Hill Giant Strength then. And I think the gauntlets are... Those are 12 or higher. Oh, so it would still have to be in here. So maybe she'd take it as her 15 and resistant higher. Who knows? But that's fine. We can go Gauntlets of Ogre Power. She's Ogre Powered, everyone. She's Ogre Powered. OP. Yeah, Verbane, Trust a Flump needed some dinner earlier. And so if you have any mundane thoughts that you want to express in chat to feed our Flump, please do so. Gotcha. Gauntlets are 19. You know what? The many-handed pouch, I think, could work well. If you're in an army, you're fighting, you want to be coordinated. What else could be used here? We don't have any slots for 12th or higher, so it'd have to be Alchemy Jug through Wand of Secrets if we want to take that. We could just give her Enhanced Weapon. There's nothing wrong with that. One Crit Wonder, hey! Oh, One Crit Wonder, it was brought up earlier that there is a SpaceX launch coming up soon. Can you confirm or deny this? And we are building an Artificer, good sir. Yeah, I think Syart was talking that there's going to be a launch soon. Let me see if I can find it. It was something about, let me see if I can find it. I don't want to misquote. Unless Syart, are you out there? 41 minutes till SpaceX launches their first Crew Dragon capsule, said Syart. Elon Musk was on Meme Review. What happened there, Peak Furball? Overland marching... Maybe an alchemy jug could be cool. You could get a lot of different stuff out of that, and you could help support... you could help support an army with the stuff you can get out of an alchemy jug. And... maybe sending stones. For communication? Yeah, but we already took the pouches. Oh, a Wand of Magic Detection. Soldiers may not necessarily have magical skills themselves, so if they can, you know, if they can play Minesweeper with a wand, then so much the better. Ah, there we go. One crit is pulling through, and Syard is there we go. Now for the spell storing item, our intelligence is 5, so we can do this 5 as well. 5 plus 10 for our spells that we can learn is 15. And we needed this also for our attack. That's going to be 5 plus proficiency is 11, so plus 11. And then we add another 8 to that for our difficulty class for 19. So that's going to translate down here to plus 11 and 19. And now we can prepare 15 spells on top of our alchemy spells off of the Alchemist or off of the Artificer spell list. And we can change that every day. So, I mean, going through, if we were to add 15, it would be an exercise. But I don't think we necessarily have to do so, because you can wake up and change it any day. And honestly, because of the flexibility with cantrips, you can change your cantrips with this class also, or just put all your cantrips on wands. And then, you know, if you really want to have fun, you can multi-class Artificer and just get all of the cantrips. That's right. So much. There's nothing better than a bunch of double time marching troops want on a hot summer day than just a nice cold cup of mayonnaise. There was a story behind why it dispenses mayonnaise, though, Civil. I don't know if you read that article. You know, some mayonnaise might go on a good summer salad. Everyone stops, does a little foraging, brings back, you know, what they find, and you just sort of put a dollop of mayonnaise on everyone's salad. That could work. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I think we have a functional alchemist. We have this flag that flutters around the battlefield, you know, raising spirits. It can attack, it defend. We definitely are a support class. I think that because we got a soldier, that was really extra cool. Oh, our armor class. That's right. We have to calculate that real quick. If we took our maximum armor, then I guess. Let's go back to equipment. If we went with half plate, that's 15 plus dex modifier. With the Capitus, that's 17 off of half plate. And if we carry a shield, that's 19. And then if we apply the this unguent, enhanced defense, creature gains a +1 bonus to armor class while wearing or wielding the infused item. And it's a +2. So we are, if we infuse ourselves, we have a 21 AC at level 20. And that's with a shield. The story is, a couple of the writers but when 5th edition was being developed, the air conditioning broke in their room or whatever at Wizards of the Coast. And so they're sitting here. They have a deadline to get this 5th edition stuff. They have a deadline to get this 5th edition stuff out. It's hot. They're writing, and they said that they had some other things on the list that jug could produce, but their editor for some reason wouldn't let them put it through into the player's handbook. And so they settled on mayonnaise, because what sounds awesome when it's the middle of summer, the AC is broken, and you have a deadline to meet, than just a jug that dispenses mayonnaise. The language, it says it's a little fuzzy, because it says while wearing armor or wielding the infused item, the shield. Would it be a +4? I mean, because or is hard. Or is one or the other. It's either X or Y, and so if you have X, you can't also have Y. Hey, oh, it's Ooze. Welcome, Ooze. Each of your infusions can be in only one object at a time. Yeah, so your one infusion then can be spread on your shield or on your armor, but you can only get the +2 after level 12 once. Yeah, no stacking there. But it is nice because, I don't know, you know, if it's more important for it to be on your shield, or if it's more important to be on your armor because you think your shield might be stripped away from you or broken or something, then, you know, you could put it on yourself. But you know what? I think we have an awesome character here. I think she's functional. I think that she'll fit into any party that you want to put her into. She can hold her own. I mean, is she gonna be, you know, big swinging, damage per round, you know, leader? Is she gonna be healing the most per round? Doubtful. But this is definitely, this is probably more of the purest support character that I've seen in 5th edition. V-Bunny, hey! You just hopped into stream, says the bunny. The bunny who is playing a blossomer, not a bunny folk, huh? So, I don't know. I think she's functional. I hope that you all, you know, you had fun doing this. This is creative. Infusing an item makes it magic. You can't infuse magic items. Yep, no problem. 1 crit. So it's Psyart and 1 crit. You two go out, like, watch what you gotta watch. How was her home life? That's a very good question. So we only know her as an adult, right? She's 35 years old. Now, we did roll that she favors her human side more as a tiefling. And now that's not in the player's handbook, but you could take that as she favors it because she was adopted by humans despite being a tiefling, so she raised up in their culture. She genetically might have more human characteristics. Shorter horns. As a tiefling, she might have pupils. Maybe her tail is shorter, or she has full horns, but they're kind of the same color as her hair, so it's almost like her hair just sort of like fused into horns. Or, you know, her skin color is a more human skin tone than an exotic tiefling skin tone. And so, you know, why did she go off to join the army? Who knows? Maybe she didn't have a good home life and she wanted to run away, but the circus was full. The army was taking people. Yeah, she could have been color guard at her high school during football games, and she found a career for it. V-Bunny, this is we just made an alchemist subclass. Oh, sire, you have 3 monitors. One day, that's living the dream. One day, I would like to have 3 monitors as well. All right, so I got to take a little break. I'm gonna get up, walk around, shimmy, shimmy, shake, get the blood flowing, and we can come back and we can talk about this class. We could talk about the subclass, the character. We could do a little theory crafting. and go from there. It's Friday night, right? If any of you want to give minis a good home, we can pop open minis. All right?